Hi there, Prairie Plant Girl here. Today I'm going to be potting up my Philodendron Black Cardinal that I took a little cutting from a while ago. So I'll show you the main plant and then we'll get this potted up. And then I'm also going to be sowing some Coleus seeds for Pineapple Surprise, which is a tricolor Coleus. So great as a houseplant or as a bedding plant outside. So first let's deal with this, this philodendron. So this here I brought downstairs is the parent plant, and I don't know, it needs a bit more soil in the pot, so it's kind of falling over and around. It's used up a lot of the soil. I've had it for years. But I was cleaning it up a little bit, getting some of the dead leaves off and whatnot the other day, and broke this little piece off. So I thought, well, I may as well try and get a little cutting going. So I just took some of the lower leaves off and set it in this jar of water, put it on the shelf behind me under some plant lights, and it's grown some nice roots. So we're gonna pot that up. So this isn't a vining type of philodendron, it's more of a clump forming one. And it's not the best specimen. I'm not a huge houseplant person, but I do enjoy it. I like the color of the leaves. It's kind of a dark black green on the top, and then the bottom is almost like a bronzy kind of shade. And they start out almost red, like this one here, when they're new. So it's kind of a neat little plant. It shouldn't need staking, like I said. Mine's just needs a little bit of topping up, so we're going to top the soil in here as well. And I think last time I watered it, maybe got just a little bit too wet. So we'll fix that as well. But set it here, hopefully I don't break the roots off. And we'll get some soil mixed up. So I have just a little bit of peat moss mix in here from starting seeds, so we'll just leave that. And then I'll use a little bit of just indoor potting soil. I'm gonna mix more than I need for the plant there, because I'm gonna add a bit into here. And then because these plants like nice good drainage, I'm going to add some perlite in here just to help with drainage. You could use like more of a cactus or succulent mix, or something that's mix some potting mix in with some like orchid mix or something, just to get good drainage. I'm just going to mix these three together real well. Okay, so we'll start first with potting up the cutting. And I've just grabbed this little catch pot. It's kind of a cute little pot, and I thought it was about the right size for a cutting this size. And then I just have a plastic liner pot that fits perfectly in here, that I can use just so that it doesn't get sitting in too much water, because there's no drainage in this pot here. So I'll just set it in there, and then I can water it, let the water drain, dump any out of here that I need to, and put it back in, and no one will even know, except you, so don't tell anyone. So now that I have this in here, very simple, I'm just gonna fill it up. Now there's a pretty long stem with roots on it here, but I think it should be a good size for in here. And I'm gonna try and get it tilted to the side a little bit, but still centered if I can. Somewhat maybe. Well, it might not be too centered. I'd rather have it a little bit more upright. So these plants like a warm, bright spot out of direct light. So somewhere where they're getting a nice bright area, but not in that direct hot sun, because it will scorch their leaves. And then it takes away the beauty of the plant. So there, I just packed it down so there's no air pockets around the roots. Put a little water in it right now. And like I said, they normally like really good drainage, but for the first little while, I'm going to make sure that this gets watered a little bit on the moist side, just while those roots get settled in and get established. And then once it's more established, I'll back off the watering and just wait for the top few inches to dry out of the soil there, and then I'll water it again nice and deep, and then let it dry out again, and that's what they prefer. So there, right into there. I think that's quite cute. Happy with that. So now we'll just top this up here a little bit. It's just gotten, I don't know if you won't be able to see inside the pot, but it's down quite a bit, like down to my second knuckle on in the pot here with the soil. So it definitely needs a top up. I don't think this has been repotted in years, so ideally that's probably what it would really like, is a good repotting with fresh soil, but a little top up with fresh soil on top will go a long way. And I'm just not prepared to get it potted up into anything bigger right now, so just give it a little treat with some nice fresh soil. It's amazing how much soil houseplants can go through, and how, you know, you fill that pot up fairly full and then it's down several centimeters after a year or so. So I'm just packing the soil around in there. I don't want it packed hard, solid, but I want it to get any air gaps and get under the edge of the pot here. There's a little bit of a lip. And then I'm just going to try and leave about, I don't know, 1.5 centimeters, 2 centimeters, an inch or so of space between the soil level and the top of the pot, just for watering, because I will water this from the top just because of the way this pot is. So there, it's probably still going to want to lean a little bit. I'm going to try and pull, there's a baby coming off the side here, so I'll try and separate them out a little bit. So this will go back upstairs. I have an indoor grow light that clamps on the side of the pot that actually splays out the sides for some other houseplants as well, and it kind of goes on either side of this, and this plant seems to really like it. It's put on a lot of growth since I set that up for it. And that also kind of, the little clamp kind of holds this part up a little bit, so I think it'll be really happy when I get it back there and have that little bit of new soil on it. Hopefully it'll settle back in. I think the roots have gotten broken from it falling over a little bit. This one, I was just going to put it back on my grow shelf for now and let it get settled in with the nice lights from the grow shelf. They won't burn it at all, and it'll help it to settle in, and I'll be checking on it a little bit more often than I do my regular house plants, just to make sure that it gets rooted in nice and it's getting the water it needs while it's getting settled in. And then I'll have to find a new spot for it. There's a nice bright spot where I would like another little plant. So we'll just set it right here for now. I'll get this guy out of the way, and then I'll clean this up and we will plant some Coleus. Okay, so we got those plants cleared out of the way. One more thing I should mention, just in case I didn't, because I'm not sure if I did or not, is that philodendron are poisonous. They're poisonous to cats, dogs, people, anything I know of. So you do need to be aware of that. If you have children or animals, pets that like to chew on plants and explore your plants, that might not be one for you in your house. But it's a beautiful, pretty easy care plant. Like I said, I'm not a big house plant person, so any plants I have that I'm keeping alive in the house, as far as houseplants go, they're usually pretty tough. So let's get the Coleus going. I had this tray out here, but I see my pack says it has 10 seeds in it, so I'm going to grab something different. Though, actually, a lot of times when they say 10 seeds, they have a couple extra. Let me look and see how many seeds are actually in here, and then I'll know what size tray I want. Let's see if I can count them out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. So do I want a 9-cell tray or a 12-cell tray? That's the question right there, hey? Let's go with that one I had out. We'll do 12 cells. One of them won't have a seed in it. And I'm just going to use the same soil. It's pretty light soil, and it doesn't have any large chunks or anything in it, so it would work fine for seed starting. It's nice and airy with that perlite in it. but it'll retain some moisture for the seedlings as well because it has the extra peat moss. So. I'm just gonna dump one of them out because I don't need it. Give them a little push. I'm not trying to like pack it in hard. I'm just giving it a little push down and then top them back up again. There we go. Now this is just slightly damp. It's not ideal conditions for the moisture level for seeds. So I'm gonna put just a little bit of water in the bottom, which I can just use this hole for. And it'll soak that up and moisten the soil while we're working here. And we should get a nice dampness going. So these are pretty small. I think I'll get my little trays out here. We'll put a little bit of water in one. And we'll dump the seeds in the other one. They're coated. Oh, don't lose them. They're coated seeds. So they have a little bit of a coating on. Usually that's just to make them easier to handle. Sometimes it's has something to help with germination, but for something like this, it should be just because they're a very small seed and they want them to be easy to handle. So you can see they're quite tiny. The water's starting to soak down in that little pocket there, so it'll be starting to soak into the soil. I'll probably refill it again here. Get them nice and moist. And then we'll be spraying the whole thing again. So there'll be lots of good moisture on here when we're done. So what I'm gonna do is, I guess I should read the package and just check what they want. That's what I'll do. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so these want light to germinate. I thought they did, but I thought, oh, I should double check. It's been a year. So I'm gonna take this skewer that I have here, just dip it in this tray with a little bit of water just to get a bit of moisture on. And I'll take one little seed there and just set it onto the soil surface. And I'll just keep doing that, and hopefully I counted right and I have 11. Remember not to go in the spot that's full of water. Now, a lot of times I'll plant 2 seeds per cell, but usually if they've gone to the trouble of making you the coated seed and they're only providing you with like such a very small amount, usually the germination rate is extremely high. So I'm trusting that these will germinate well. Sometimes there's even, like very occasionally, multiple seeds in these little pellets. I don't think these ones will have multiples in them just because of their size. Because the soil isn't quite as damp as it should be, they're wanting to stick to my skewer, and the soil on the soil is wanting to stick to my skewer as well, so it's not quite as handy as normal. And then there's one more here that I counted, but it's a little bit different looking. I don't know if it just got wet and it's losing its coating, but I'm not sure how much seed I'm going to get there. I'm actually going to put water. I don't think you'll be able to see, but there's kind of yellow from the coating smeared around on the inside edge of this little tray here. So I'm just going to put some water and try and get that mixed up and dumped in just in case the seed is actually in that mix there. Hopefully I'll get it, if there was one there. Hopefully it lands in on the soil surface. So now I'm just going to take some vermiculite and I'm going to be just sprinkling this on top. Now I said these need light to germinate. They will still receive that with the vermiculite. I'm not putting a super heavy layer that's completely burying the seeds. I can still see most of them if I really look here. And the vermiculite seems to kind of, I don't know, reflect the light around. It never seems to bother my plants that need light to germinate. And the vermiculite will just help to absorb any excess moisture, and then it holds on to that moisture kind of like a sponge. And if the soil surface dries out before I notice, the vermiculite will start to kind of let some of that moisture back off into the soil surface, which helps your seedlings so they're always at that constant moist state to help them germinate. It also helps to maintain those moisture levels so that you're not running into so many issues with fungus gnats and damping off. So that's something you don't necessarily need to do with the vermiculite, but it is helpful in my experience. So now I'm just going to give a good spray to the whole thing, and that'll just help to kind of settle those seeds down onto the surface of the soil, and we'll be good to go. So now, like I said, these need light to germinate. So I'm going to put the humidity dome on with the little holes closed for now. I'll put it on my grow lights, on my shelf here under my grow lights, and the lights will shine down nice and bright on the dome. One thing when plants need light to germinate is sometimes these domes will get kind of humidity built up inside of them. So if you find that you're getting a lot of condensation inside, you might need to open up the holes, but also wipe off the dome just to let some of that extra moisture out for a day or two, just so that the light is still penetrating through really nicely for you. But yeah, we'll take these, pop them over here. Now I'm gonna double check. It didn't say heat, I don't think. Yeah, so it says it germinates best at 24 Celsius, which it actually has been staying close to that in here, and there's a heat mat right beside where I put this, so there'll be a little bit of radiant heat moving around over there. And the lights, they don't get hot, but there's a little bit of extra warmth over there from the lights. And then it says once they get to the 3-stage, like the 3-leaf stage, so you get your cotyledon leaves, which aren't your true leaves, but once you get 3 sets of true leaves on, which is the next leaves that come after, then you can transplant them up and then keep them at about 18 Celsius, so just a little bit cooler, and they'll grow the best. That's optimum. Again, they'll still grow if you don't do that, but that's just gonna give you the optimum growth to get them nice and lush and full. So that's what the package suggests doing. So I'm also starting these a little bit on the early side. It says to start them 4 to 6 weeks before your average last frost date. I'm at 14, moving into 13 here right away. So I'm early on doing this, but like I said, they make great house plants. So I thought I'm gonna get them going, get them growing really nicely. I'll be able to move them out into a sunny windowsill when I'm getting a lot of plants going here on my shelf, and they'll be able to do just nicely, like they'll do quite well on a sunny windowsill, and that'll free up some space on my grow shelf until I'm ready to get things out until our average last frost is done and it's warm enough to put things like Coleus outside. So it's just a way of kind of timing things so that I can get the most use out of my shelving and have things rotating through enough. So if you haven't started your Coleus yet, don't panic. Probably not really quite time to do that yet, but I start a lot of plants, so I want to get a few that I can start early and just enjoy as almost like a house plant. I can do that for a little bit of time. Did anyone notice I forgot to make a tag for this? Now I just redid my space here. I gotta find where I put my tags. I think they're in front of you. There, I better label these. Like I said, I grow a lot. I wanna know what they are. Pineapple Surprise. I'll be checking on these too, because I put that little bit of water in here just to see. I don't want it too wet. They can still take a little bit up. It's still quite light, but I'll come back here in a couple of hours and just check to make sure that we're not getting the soil too soggy, because we don't want fungal diseases and rotting of things happening. Let me know what you're growing. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy growing plants and gardening, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.